Hello everybody, this is the Gaming Christian. Welcome to another video of mine, and this time we're going to show you my GameCube collection. It is not really much. This is a warning. I'm really going to talk a lot, and I really don't know where it comes from. It's really stupid. I'm sorry about it, people. I'm sorry if I bore you. Of course, I really wanted to tell you a story behind every game I have, you know, but sometimes blah 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 blah, and then it's like 15 minutes later I only did a few games. I'm sorry if you watch my other videos. Thank you for watching. I'm really grateful. Yeah, let's just start with my GameCube collection. The first game I have on the list is Animal Crossing. What can I say? It's a really great game. It's an online game, and it really is a fantastic game. A lot of people might say, no, it's not that great. It is great. This is technically, and I'm saying the word technically again, a great game. Not only does it, it looks, good, but the whole gameplay overall is just fantastic. And there's always a lot of, it's so weird if you not come back for a day, if you just, if you're not going to play this game for like a day, I don't want to play it today, and then you're gonna play it the next day. People are gonna ask like, "Hey, geez, what's the matter with you? Have you become lonely or something?" So actually, it all affects. And the great thing about this game is that when it is winter in this day and age, it is actually winter in this game. Yes. And there's a lot of stuff to do. You can actually fish, but you can do a lot of other stuff. This is a great game, and I haven't played this personally yet, to be fair. But maybe I will one day. But it's just a great game. You can play it online. You can actually, well, not really online, but you can actually play it with your Game Boy Advance, and you can actually connect. So yeah, that's actually pretty awesome. Next up is a game with another questionable, because I'm a Christian. This is Eternal Darkness, Sanity Requiem. Sorry about my English. This is really a great game. This is really maybe one of the best GameCube games ever, even though there are a lot of great classics on it. This not only does this game look great, it plays great. This is a fantastic game. It's scary, it's creepy, but it's also it's also original because you have a sanity meter, and once the sanity meter go low, you see weird things. I would suggest, if you're old enough, I mean, this is for 50 years older. This is for 15 years and older. I don't know. Sometimes on the disc it says a different kind of age, but this is for 50 years and older. But I would suggest if I were you, I would wait longer to play this game, because this game is not for the youngest, because it's really scary. And to me, it wasn't all that scary, but there are some pretty creepy things in it. Trust me, I never get scared in video games, because it's not real. I totally can see the difference between reality and that kind of reality, which is not a reality at all. But yeah, it's actually pretty creepy. Next up is a very underrated game. It's Killer 7. Yes, this game is one of the best games ever. And it got low ratings here in, low. Yeah, it got above average scores. And I'm talking about the 6.9 out of 10. There was a certain magazine I was a huge fan of back in the day, until I got older. They gave this game a 69 out of 10, because of the reason that this game was way too weird. Yeah, the game has good gameplay, but it's way too weird. Let's give it a low rating. So, yeah, I'm sorry for the sarcasm. But what I really personally think is just this game is so fantastic. It is fun to play. You can actually level up your character. You can play almost different characters, and the story is mind-bogglingly fantastic. It takes your breath away how good the story is, but how good the overall gameplay is. It is weird. I really have to agree that this game is weird, and you have like a weird way of walking, because you constantly walk forward. But like I'm saying, I don't think a lot of people really understand this game, and this game is technically a great game. It has great gameplay, but it's just weird. And that's the only reason why people has criticized it, when it's actually not bad. So I really wanted to keep on talking, but maybe I'm just going to do a review about that game and give you my real thoughts. Or else this is going to be a small review. Next up is The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I would say that this game is very underrated. A lot of people called this not a great Zelda game. I totally disagree. But a lot of people gave as told that this game was actually, it was, how can I say that? This game was a little bit, it was darker, but it was empty, it was, yeah, but it was still a great game, Technically, it's a really fantastic video game with great presentation. In town, there's a lot of stuff to do, and it's really just an adventure. And it's not the best Zelda game, but it doesn't say much, I mean, the best Zelda game is really good, And The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess is really a great GameCube game. Next up is a game. Yes, another Zelda game. This is The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker for the GameCube. Another GameCube classic. It doesn't smell like a Dreamcast cartridge, because I just did the Dreamcast collection and I smelled it, and it's not the same kind of smell. But anyways, Wind Waker, I still haven't played this game. It seems like a lot of fun. It's an American one, like I've already said, and how can I play American games? Well, with the freeloader, that's right. I can play American Dreamcast games with the freeloader. And it wasn't really all that expensive. It's great. You do the CD in the GameCube, and then it's going to ask you to put the American CD in. That's exactly what I did. Because, American or Japanese GameCube games don't really work on your European one. And Zelda The Wind Waker is just a great game to have. Maybe I could have bought the European one. But oh well. Now that I have the freeloader, it's actually pretty cool. Next up is Mario Kart Double Dash. A lot of people say that this is the best Mario Kart game. Personally, I disagree. A lot of people should not forget the first Mario Kart. A lot of people, I hear some people say bad things about the first Mario Kart because, oh, the controls this, the controls that. Let me tell you something about Mario Kart, the first one. That game has set a genre that we can't forget. And Mario Kart is, of course, the king in the genre, in the kart genre. But that's why the first one is one of the best Mario Karts ever. I know a lot of people might disagree with me. And I kind of understand because it's hard to control. I guess that's the only reason. But don't forget, Mario Kart is the first one. Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo. It is the first one. It opened up a whole other world. It's like Mario 64. You can really say Mario 64 is not the best only because of the controls. Mario Kart is the same kind of story. You just have to understand that Mario Kart is the first one, and Double Dash is another great Mario Kart game. Don't get me wrong. I'm this kind of person that really has a tight opinion about things, but not just opinion. I look at games on a technical point of view, and Mario Kart have set a few examples, and Double Dash didn't do that, people. But I haven't played this game too many times. Actually, I haven't played this game yet, so I'm gonna have to do that one day. Next up is Mario Kart. Forgive me. Mario Smash Football. It's a fun little football game. Nothing too special. Had some fun with it. But it's getting a little bit repetitive after some time. The next one is a game that is a remake of Metal Gear Solid. This is Metal Gear Solid the Twin Snakes. It's a great remake. This time with Metal Gear Solid 2 graphics. I've played this in one day. I finished this game in like one day. It was all worth it. It's just your Metal Gear Solid 1, but this time with more beautiful cutscenes. But just the same good old gameplay of the PlayStation 1 version. And it is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed myself. Next up is another classic. This is Metroid Prime. Yes, this game is one of the best games ever. I've already told you a million times that in my other videos. But Metroid Prime is a great game. And let me tell you that. It looks great. It plays great. What can I say about Metroid Prime? It's not really for me because there's a lot of backtracking. And it's sometimes not clear where you need to go. But seriously, that game is so fantastic. Next up is another great game, but not for me. Pikmin. This game is definitely not for me. This game, it's kind of fun to play, but I got bored of it pretty quickly. Well, not really bored, but more like, I don't want to play this anymore because I lost almost all my Pikmin. Then I needed to go back to a different level, and you have like a day limit. So It's not for me, but it's a really great game. It looks great, by the way. So yeah. Another game that's one of the best, and I mean the best remakes ever. This is Resident Evil for the GameCube. Yes, this game looks great. I mean, there's a really funny story to it. When I, this won't be long. I'm sorry. When I played, I have played a Xbox 360 game. When I was done with the game, I just wanted to try a new game, and I still haven't played this one, Resident Evil. And then I start playing it, and I almost had the feeling I was playing an Xbox 360 game. It really looks that great. The in-game graphics. This is one of the most good-looking GameCube games ever created. I am not kidding. It really looks like great, and it's the same old Resident Evil gameplay we all know and love. Then it's another great game. It's another fantastic game. This is Resident Evil 4. It's different than your old Resident Evil games. This is where the new premise all started, because Part 5 did the same thing, but it was more action-orientated. Then Part 6 did it. Then a whole bunch of other Resident Evil games did it. Not a whole bunch, but you know what I mean. Operation Raccoon was it? For the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, I think. Well, especially for the PlayStation 3. This is a great game. Yeah, I've been saying it a lot of times. So I have a whole bunch of. We're almost through it, so I don't worry about it. But Resident Evil 4 is a great game. It looks great, but the gameplay is fantastic. It's just an amazing game. Next up is Star Wars Rogue Leader Rogue Squadron 2. That's like a very long name. This is not my cup of tea. Let me tell you that. I have played this game. Yeah, what else can I've played this game, and the problem is if you're busy for like 10 minutes with one mission and you fail in that mission, you have to start all over again. Well, 2 or 3 times, it doesn't really matter, but after 8 times I was done, so I finished playing it. So I haven't played this game too many times, but this game is not for me because I really want checkpoints. And sometimes when you play a certain game, it's not so bad because you know it's like the old games and stuff, but Star Wars Rogue Leader Rogue Squadron is technically a great game, that's why I have it, but not really for me. I still have to find the first one though for the Nintendo 64. Maybe one day. Okay, we're almost through it because my battery is almost getting is almost empty. This is Super Monkey Ball, another great GameCube classic. A lot of people might not really like this, and I understand because the game might be very hard. Technically, it is fantastic. I have a friend of mine who really doesn't like this game, who really underestimated this game because he's bad at it, I think. I think that's his only reason why he thinks this game is not that great. But, you know, I guess we all have taste. And this is not a game. I kind of enjoy this game, but not all the time. This game got pretty bored to me after some time. But I still really think this is a great game, though. Even though I don't think it's much fun for me, I still think it's a great game. It looked great, great presentation, and the game itself is pretty challenging. Okay, we are getting through it because the battery is almost up. This is Beautiful Joe 1 and 2. Beautiful Joe 1 is great. Part 2 is even better. This is also an American disc, as you can see. Yeah, I hold it up well. I had some fun with this game. I've played the PlayStation 2 version of Beautiful Joe 2. I've played the PlayStation 2 version. So I've already played it, but I guess I need to play it for the GameCube as well. But I really can't say. This is another game that I personally don't like, Part 1 and Part 2. But I do know that the games are technically fantastic. Especially Part 1. I mean, Part 2 is just a, good sequel. It's just as good as Part 1. But Part 1 is really a classic in way of, presentation, gameplay. This is really a fantastic game. I really think so. Personally, I don't like it as much because the game is too hard. The game is very short as well, but the game is pretty challenging, and there's a certain level where you have to beat every boss again, but then there's another hard level. This game is not really for me, but I really think it's a technically great game. I need to go fast, so I've showed you the freeloader. This is Zelda Ocarina of Time for the GameCube. I had Zelda the Wind Waker once, for the European one, but I sold it. But I kept Zelda Ocarina of Time for it, that game with the game. Because I've played this version. I haven't played the N64 version, but I have played this version. And this version, I finally could experience the whole thing. And then I have the Game Boy Player CD, where you can. It's a emulator, or it's a converter where you can play Game Boy Advance games. You click it under the GameCube. I'm going to show you that in a different video. And then you can put the CD in, you can put the Game Boy Advance cartridge in it, and you can play Game Boy Advance games. I don't know how long the battery takes. God blessings, everybody. See you guys next time with some more videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry this was another very too long video. Goodbye, everybody. See you guys next time.